Would you please welcome to the stage Gregory Akerman?
Thank you. Right. Okay. Billy the Kid and Bible. Now, Billy the Kid came to fame. He was put inside all of our minds around 1817 during the Lincoln County Cattle Wars. Now, this was essentially a trade war between Mr. Murphy and Mr. Tunstall, who lived in Lincoln County. One of them was Irish, one of them was English, and they fought against each other for government beef contracts. Now, Billy the Kid and Mr. Tunstall, the guy who looked after him, thought that trade war sounded really crass and like something they shouldn't really be involved with. So they lied to themselves and everyone else and claimed that it was a holy war. They claimed that they were doing it because they were Catholic. And because they were Catholic, they paid attention to chapter 19 in the book of Revelation. Now, in order for you to understand why that verse and that chapter is so important to Billy the Kid and Mr. Tunstall, and in order for you to understand why this is a holy war and not a trade war, we need to be familiar with the book of Bible. Now, the book of Bible, if you're not reading the director's cut, has about 60 individual books in it. I haven't got enough time, I really haven't got enough time to read all of that to you. So I've done a sort of précis. I don't want to sound arrogant, but I've kind of made it a bit better. So please try and keep up, okay? Bang! God gets bored, so makes an earth within a week, and a man and a woman knock around, essentially killing time before a magic snake casts them if they're hungry and want to bang. Turns out they are, and they do, and all hell breaks loose. The bang turns to twins, turns to murder. Everything is all shit because of a girl, or a boy, or a snake, or God, depending on which area you choose to read it in, and so it rains like a lot. Now, after that analysis is finished, a chap called Nimrod knocks about, and everyone hides his or her sniggers. Feeling a bit put out by all this, Nimrod does the Babel thing, language is born, and God meets a chap called Abram, says he's totally awesome, and it's going to be great. Oh yeah, by the way, Abram, you and all your people are going to be like totally fucked for about 400 years. What, 400 years? Yeah, well, hey, there's young ladies to bang, and thus much banging is bung. Slavery, 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 sex, 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 Sodom and Gomorrah. Don't look, I look salt. Now, running lies sex. Curse, curse, curse. Abraham, yeah, God thinks he's cool. Says, do me a solid, murder your child. Only kidding. On a side note here, Abraham says, that place you asked me to murder my child, will you be okay not to tell other religions to do their sacred things at that exact same spot so things don't, kick off later on? God says, sure, no problem, pal. And then giggles, delighted with the mischief he's planning. Famine, famine, sex, 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 slavery, slavery, then a literal wrestle with God that for unknown reasons the author decides not to go into detail in. Then Israel is born. Nothing contentious happens there. Joseph gets his cock out, enslaves all his people to the Egyptians. Dick, move Joseph. Something about bones going to the Holy Land, ruffle. Then that's just the first book, right? And in order to speed things up, I've sort of rejigged it some more. Right, okay. Israelite, slaves. Along comes Moses, goes all blood brothers for a bit, a plague on both your houses, Passover with the blood on the doors, and the firstborn's murdered by God. Sounds reasonable. Israelites bail, the Red Sea opens up, which totes amazing balls, and then they just complain. Moses gets the 10 Commandments and a further 600 and something, massive overkill. God then instructs Moses on how to look awesome and get kicked out an epic. Luke, sweet, says Moses, promptly loses the 10 Commandments. God says, oh good, don't worry about it, whack them in the box for me, here's some more. And off to the promised land you go, a land I promise you have definitely got dibs on. Back to Moses. What's up, God? Yeah, nothing, pal. I like what you did with the 10 Commandments and all stuff. Would you mind writing a list of all the people? What people? Everyone. But in sort of payment for this, I'll teach you how to make tiny little magic silver trumpets. This happened. Well, it didn't happen, but this is genuinely written. A fight with a massive country ensues. Moses gets pwned, which God thinks is hilarious, and then 26,000 dead, and then we go on and on and on, and then we repeat everything we've learned so far again. This happens in the Old Testament over and over again. He goes into historical and heroic length about something and then summarises it with a too long didn't read version. We get a teaser for Jesus, and Moses tags in Joshua. Endless war, then a less popular sea parting event. Now, clearly, at this point, we repeat everything another 4 times, and the Bible, instead of just ignoring the concept of editing, starts taking the piss. Right now, to celebrate Joshua's death, more war. Pity is shown, God turns up ballistic. We start to get on Michael Bay now with the judges. Huge warriors who love explosions and hair. Samson turns around, rips the lion apart with his bare hands and eats honey from inside the lion. Lion, carcass, honey. Then some ladies get their bang on. We have a brief pause now while it goes a bit Bridget Jones, where we meet a lady called Ruth who's trying to secure a really fulfilling career as a grain thief. But it turns out all she really wants is a husband. But enough of that, back to the violence. A man lives on a hill with 2 wives, one barren, one with loads of children. Fertile wife constantly takes the piss out of the barren wife. David and Goliath. Big fella, little fella, rock-faced dead David is king. I mean, I've skipped a massive bit here where David gets really told off by God for eating the wrong fucking bread, but time is a-wasting. David keeps being king, we get a job load more genealogy. Now we get 5 books of poetry. Skip! Right, now Daniel gets given the king's dream, unlocks godlike wisdom mode and gets given Babylon. Now we hear about a future war, and this story is told in exactly the same way 8 different times in 8 different books. At this point, I would like you to all remember that when the Bible was compiled, there were many wars, and many people fought and died to decide what books were in it. Brothers killed brothers, families were torn apart. So, brother, I think this story should be told 8 times. I think that's probably labouring the point somewhat. 7 times is surely enough. I love you, my brother, but for this blasphemy you must die. Stab, death. If your moral stance looks this weak, it's time to reevaluate your argument. It's not the weakest moral stance there has ever been. The weakest moral stance there has ever been. Right, Westboro Baptist Church, God hates fags, those delightful people. Now, they once were protesting a dead soldier's funeral, because reasons. Now, there was a counter-protest across the road. Now, the people doing the counter-protest were going, steady on, chaps, bit far, seems a bit unreasonable. Those people were the Ku Klux Klan. If the Ku Klux Klan are looking at your organisation and going, I'm afraid you've gone a bit too far. And sensible, intelligent humans are looking at the Ku Klux Klan and you, I think the KKK have a point. Change your argument. Admittedly, they do the God hates fags thing because they say the Bible says homosexuality is wrong. Now, I've read the thing several times. There are 6 overt references to homosexuality in the Bible. 3 of them, they do say homosexuality is definitely wrong. 3 of them say homosexuality is really, really good. Where are the headbands? Now we go to the New Testament, okay? Now it starts with Jesus, born in a stable, cracking gifts, then nothing for 20 odd years, for healing a few people, party tricks, bothering the poor and dying. What Jesus is gay, lots of time hanging around with prostitutes, then being chill, then betrayal, death, prophecies being fulfilled a little too closely, and this whole story being told 4 different ways, in different ways, all entirely over and over again. A bold start to any book. Then we just have the admin of building a Catholic church. We have letter after letter after letter of Paul just saying, Corinthians, you dickheads, and occasionally saying, the world is going to end right now, is it? No, sorry, I was wrong. And that brings us to the book of Revelations. You are welcome. Now, chapter 19 of Revelations says that Jesus comes to earth on a white horse with a cape made entirely out of blood. A sort of black pudding cape. Jesus arrived. Now, based on this, Billy the Kid said, not a trade war. Now, right, this has got everything to do with history, because you need to look at the historical context of Bible. The fact is, a lot of it comes from oral tradition. There is no known historical context. People endlessly give their own context to it. Now, Billy the Kid and Mr. Tunstall were endlessly doing this. They were looking at the book and giving their own context to it. The thing is, if you give your own historical context to a thing, and then use that thing to justify any of your actions based on its historical context and relevance, that is largely immoral and cheating, frankly. And I will finish just by saying the word ahistoricism, because I've always wanted to say it, and this seems like a good venture as any. That is the entire Bible for you in under 10 fucking minutes, and Billy the Kid is awesome, as am I. Thank you. Thank you.